Hello dear students, let's discuss the topic migration in birds. I am Dr. E. Harini, selection grade lecturer and head Department of Zoology, working in St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous, Visakhapatnam. Let's look at the definition of bird migration. The word migration has come from the Latin word migrare, which means going from one place to another. Many birds have the inherent quality to move from one place to another to obtain the advantages of the favorable conditions. In birds, migration means a two-way journey, onward journey from the home to the new place and back journey from the new place to the home. This movement occurs during the particular period of the year and the birds usually follow the same route. There is a sort of internal biological clock which regulates the phenomenon. Let's look at what are migratory and resident birds. Majority of birds have the inherent quality to move from one place to the other to obtain the advantages of the favorable conditions. Such birds are called migratory birds. Some birds, such as the bobwhite and the ruffled sand grouse, however, do not migrate at all and they remain throughout the year in the same country. Such birds are called resident birds. Migratory birds cover thousands of miles in their periodic seasonal journeys, and migration occurs during the particular period of the year, and the birds usually follow the same route. So, why do birds migrate? The reasons are the climate and weather. Birds migrate to escape the harsh weather, especially the cold winters in the northern regions. Many insect eating birds cannot find food in freezing temperatures, so they fly to the warmer areas where food is still available. The second reason is food availability. Different regions have seasonal food. During summer in the temperate zones like Europe, North India, North America, there's an abundance of insects, fruits and seeds. Birds move there to take advantage of the surplus food. When winter hits and the food becomes scarce, they return to the warmer places like Africa or South India. They migrate for breeding grounds. Many birds migrate to suitable breeding areas. These areas are often safer, less competitive and richer in food, perfect for raising chicks. For example, the Arctic terns breed in the Arctic summer, which offers long daylight hours and abundant food. To avoid predators and competition. Migration can help birds reduce competition for food and nesting sites. In some cases, migrating birds also avoid predators that are most abundant in certain regions during the particular seasons. Genetic and evolutionary adaptation. Migration is an evolutionary strategy. Birds that migrated and reproduced successfully passed on their genes. Over generations, migration became a part of their natural behavior. Example, the Siberian cranes fly to Bharatpur in India to escape the cold. And the bar-headed geese cross the Himalayas to reach Indian wetlands during winter. What triggers migration? Just now we have seen the reasons, so let's see what triggers migration. The first one is the day length or the photoperiod. As the days get shorter or longer, birds detect the change through their biological clock. The shortening days in autumn trigger many birds to migrate south. Changes in temperature. Cooling temperatures in the autumn or warming in the spring acts as natural cues. Hormonal changes. Internal changes in the hormones like melatonin and corticosterone regulate the migratory restlessness. Availability of food. A drop in the food supply can push the birds to migrate. In spring, the increase in food at breeding grounds draws them back. Genetic instinct. Migration is also guided by genetic programming. Environmental stress or threats. Natural disasters like droughts, storms, and human activities like habitat destruction can also trigger unexpected migrations or route change. Let's see the types of bird migration. Migration may be latitudinal, longitudinal, altitudinal, partial migration, total migration, irregular or vagrant migration, seasonal migration, diurnal and nocturnal migration. Let's begin with latitudinal migration. Latitudinal migration usually means the movement from the north to the south and vice versa from the south to the north. Most birds live in the land masses of the northern temperate and the subarctic zones where they get facilities for nesting and feeding during summer, and they move towards south during winter. The cuckoo breeds in India and spends the summer at Southeast Africa and thus covers a distance of about 7,250 kilometers. Some tropical birds migrate during the rainy season to the outer tropics to breed and return to the central tropics in dry season. Many marine birds also make a considerable migration. Penguins migrate by swimming and cover a considerable distance of few hundred miles. The Arctic tern, the Sterna paradisea, breeds in the northern temperate region and migrates to the Antarctic zone along the Atlantic. It was observed that Sterna covers a distance of 22,500 kilometers during migration. Some birds make migrations that are longitudinal. So this kind of migration is called longitudinal migration, that is from east to west and vice versa. Thus, the starling moves from a breeding area in East Europe, the Atlantic coast, to avoid the continental winter. Sandhill cranes, some populations of these move from the eastern parts of Canada or USA to the western areas for wetter wintering grounds. The next kind of migration is altitudinal migration. Wherever large mountains are found in temperate regions, the birds migrate regularly up and down their slopes as the weather changes. The birds pass the summer in the mountainous region but return to the lowlands in winter. It is merely a short journey from the slopes to the more protected valleys and has been called altitudinal or vertical migration. It occurs in the grebes and coots of ants in Argentina, the violet green swallows of Great Britain. The Himalayan monal, which is the state bird of Uttarakhand, lives at higher altitudes in summer and descends to the lower altitudes during winter. The next kind of migration is partial migration. So many species of the temperate regions are only partial migrants. An addition is made in constant residents which do not migrate at all by an influx of new individuals to the same species for a short period. The barn owls, the bluebirds, and many blue jays of Canada and northern United States travel southwards to mingle with the sedentary populations of the southern states. The song thrust, the redbreast, etc., seen through the year actually represent partial migrants as the birds seen in winter are not the same as seen in summer. The Indian koel, while many migrate seasonally within India, some populations remain resident, especially in the southern regions. The next kind is irregular or vagrant migration. Irregular migration or vagrant migration refers to the unpredictable and occasional movement of birds outside the normal migratory range. These migrations do not follow a fixed seasonal pattern and are usually caused by unexpected environmental or biological factors. In some birds, such as the herons, after breeding, the adults and the young may stray from their home to disperse in all directions over many or few hundred miles in search of food and safety from enemies. Some seabirds are taken by hurricanes to as far as 2,000 miles away from home seas to drop exhausted or to die on unfamiliar shores. So this kind is called as irregular or vagrant migration. Seasonal migration refers to the regular predictable movement of animals between different geographical locations in response to seasonal changes in temperature, food availability and breeding conditions. So this type of migration occurs at specific times of the year, usually tied to changes in climate or daylight length, and is observed in many species including birds, mammals, insects and fish. Example, the swallows are migratory birds that breed in Europe and northern Asia during the summer and migrate to Africa for the winter. They usually depart in the late summer or early autumn, returning in the spring. Let us look at the modes of flight in migration. The nocturnal and diurnal flight. Ducks, gulls, shorebirds, and many others migrate at day or in the night. Many large birds fly mainly by the day, such as the crows, the swallows, robins, blackbirds, hawks, bluebirds, jays, cranes, pelicans, geese, and other shorebirds. They may stop to forage in suitable places, but swallows and swift capture their insect food in the air as they travel. These diurnal migrants have a greater tendency to travel in flocks, which may be well organized, and a vast variety of birds are chiefly nocturnal migrants. So these include mostly the smaller passerine birds such as the warblers, thrushes, sparrows. They prefer to fly at night in order to escape from their enemies. Segregation during migration. Certain birds, like the nighthawks, swifts, and kingfishers, travel in separate companies, while the swallows, turkeys, bluebirds travel in mixed companies of several species due to similarity in their size, method of search of food, etc. In some species, the male and female members travel separately. The males arrive first to build the nests, and the young birds generally accompany later along with the females. The range of migration. The distances traveled by the migratory birds depend upon the local conditions and the species concerned. The Himalayan snow partridges descend a few hundred feet only and cover hardly a mile or two, while the cicades come down nearly 8,000 feet. The champion long distance migrant is the Arctic tern. It spends the summer and breeds along the northernmost ice free coast of Labrador, far inside the Arctic Circle. Then it travels a distance of 11,000 miles to reach its destination to the edges of Antarctica in winter and returns again through the same distance in summer. The European whitestop winters in South Africa after a journey of about 8,000 miles. So this is the range of migration. The altitude of flight. Some birds fly close to the earth, while most routine migration probably takes place within 3,000 feet of the earth. The radar has shown that some small land birds migrating at night fly 5,000 to 14,000 feet, and some species even cross the Andes and the Himalayas at altitudes of 20,000 feet or more. The speed and duration of flight. The average flight velocity of most small birds rarely exceeds 30 miles per hour. Birds usually travel 5 to 6 hours a day, resting in between for food and drink. The golden plover holds the world record with the longest non-stop bird flight from Hudson Bay and Alaska to South America, a distance of 3,862 kilometers. Several hundreds of miles may be covered non-stop in a day or a night. The regularity of migration. Many species of migratory birds exhibit an extraordinary consistency in their migration patterns. Year by year, they arrive and depart with remarkable punctuality, often varying just a day or two, even when crossing vast distances or facing unpredictable weather conditions. And another fascinating aspect of the behavior is site fidelity. These birds often return to the same breeding grounds season after season, demonstrating a strong instinct for location and timing. The routes of migration. The data furnished from the lighthouse and ships reveal that migratory birds usually follow definite lines of flight. Observations by telescopes and radars show that nocturnal migration of small land birds proceeds with the general airflow on a broad front. Deviation in path occurs due to configuration of land, coastline, courses of great rivers or intervening mountain chains, etc. What are the advantages of migration? Birds migrate in order to access for better resources, to avoid the harsh weather conditions, for better breeding conditions, reduced competition for food, space and mating, for predator avoidance and improved survival in favorable habitats. What are the disadvantages of migration? Many young ones die during the course of their journey. Sudden changes in climate like hurricanes, storms, strong winds kill many migratory birds. Tall buildings, telegraph wires, and lighthouses caused the death of migratory birds, and the navigational challenges pose a problem to the migratory birds. On a concluding note, migration in birds is a fascinating and complex natural phenomenon driven by the need for food, favorable climate, and breeding opportunities. Birds undertake long journeys across the continents with remarkable precision and endurance, guided by environmental cues, the sun, the stars, magnetic fields, and even innate biological clocks. This behavior highlights the adaptability and survival strategies of avian species. Moreover, studying bird migration not only deepens our understanding of ecology and evolution, but also emphasizes the importance of conserving migratory routes and habitats that are vital for their survival. Thank you.